There are some stories in baseball that feel too surreal to be true. Stories that dance between brilliance and chaos, discipline and absurdity. And then there's the story of Manny Ramirez. You can't describe Manny by comparing him to others. You can only describe Manny by saying he's Manny. Born on May 30th, 1972 in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, Manuel Aristides Ramirez Onilcida grew up surrounded by the pulse of baseball. It wasn't just a sport in his neighborhood, it was destiny. At 8 years old, his grandmother gifted him a Dodgers uniform, number 30, stitched on the back. He wore it like armor, convinced this was his calling. In 1985, his family relocated to Washington Heights in New York City, just across the Harlem River from Yankee Stadium. Yet, rather than adopting the Yankees, Manny became a Toronto Blue Jays fan, drawn to Dominican stars like George Bell and Tony Fernandez. At George Washington High School, Manny quietly transformed into one of the most lethal high school hitters the city had ever seen. By his senior year in 1991, he batted an astronomical .650 with 14 home runs in just 22 games. Scouts weren't just interested, they were obsessed. And so, at 19, Manny was drafted 13th overall by the Cleveland Indians in the 1991 MLB draft. From the moment he stepped into the minors, it was clear that Manny wasn't normal. He crushed baseballs with ease, 19 homers in 59 games in his debut season. In 1993, he was named Minor League Player of the Year, boasting a .333 average, 31 home runs, and 115 RBIs across AA and AAA. He didn't just earn a call-up, he forced it. He made his MLB debut on September 2nd, 1993. The next day at Yankee Stadium, with his friends and family watching, Manny got his first big league hit, an automatic double off Melito Perez. He thought it was a home run and started trotting the bases before being gently nudged back to second by his teammates. Classic Manny. The legend had begun. In 1994, Manny began proving he wasn't just a kid with potential. He hit 269 with 17 home runs and 60 RBIs in 91 games. But it was 1995 when he broke out fully. 308 average, 31 homers, 107 RBIs, and a Silver Slugger award to go with an all-star appearance. Cleveland made it to the World Series that year but lost to Atlanta. Manny's star, however, was rising uncontrollably. From 1995 to 2000, Manny evolved into one of the most feared right-handed hitters in baseball. In 1999, he had one of the most absurd seasons in modern baseball history. .333 batting average, 44 home runs, and an eye-popping 165 RBIs, the most since 1938. That year, he also led the league in slugging and on-base percentage. Yet somehow, he finished third in MVP voting. The consistency was unreal. Season after season, Manny posted OPS plus ratings well above 150, making him 50% better than the average hitter. But there was more to Manny than just numbers. He was eccentric, quirky, sometimes forgetful to the point of absurdity. In Boston, the phrase, Manny being Manny, became a way of explaining the unexplainable. Sometimes frustrating, sometimes hilarious, but always uniquely him. By the end of 2000, Manny's time in Cleveland had come to an end. In a decision that stunned the league, he rejected offers from the Yankees and instead signed an 8-year, $160 million deal with the Boston Red Sox. "I'm tired of seeing the Yankees always win," he said. Boston embraced him, and Manny gave them fireworks. In 2001, he hit .306 with 41 home runs and 125 RBIs. In 2004, alongside David Ortiz, he led the Red Sox to one of the greatest comebacks in sports history. Down 0-3 to the Yankees in the ALCS, Manny and the Sox stormed back to win 4 straight, then swept the Cardinals to capture Boston's first World Series title in 86 years. Manny was named World Series MVP, hitting .412. Over the next few seasons, Manny continued to terrorize pitchers, putting up 300-plus batting averages, 30-plus home runs, and 100+ RBIs like clockwork. But as much as Boston adored his bat, they struggled with his unpredictability. He skipped games, clashed with teammates, and in one infamous moment, literally disappeared into the green monster mid-inning to relieve himself. Behind every antic, there was genius. He hit his 500th home run in 2008. He was, undeniably, one of the best to ever do it. The drama peaked in 2008. He fought with Kevin Youkilis in the dugout. Accusations emerged that he was faking injuries. The Red Sox, exhausted, finally let him go. Manny was traded to the Dodgers at the deadline. In LA, he exploded, hitting .396 with 17 home runs and 53 RBIs in just 53 games. Mannywood was born. Dodger Stadium was electric every time he stepped up. He led them to the NLCS and reignited hope in Los Angeles. Then came the fall. In 2009, Manny was suspended 50 games after testing positive for HCG, a women's fertility drug often used to mask steroid use. Despite the scandal, he returned and put up decent numbers, but the magic was fading. In 2011, he signed with the Rays, but tested positive again. Rather than serve a 100-game suspension, he abruptly retired. Off the field, things weren't any smoother. That same year, he was arrested for domestic violence. The charges were later dropped, but the damage was done. Manny, once a hero, had become a cautionary tale. Yet, the game never left his heart. He attempted multiple comebacks. He played in Taiwan, Japan, and even served as a player coach in the Cubs minor league system. No matter where he went, fans followed. Manny was global. Through it all, the quirks never faded. He once hired a random fan who gave him a hitting tip to be his personal coach, and it worked. He forgot checks worth tens of thousands in his locker. He named both his sons Manny Jr. He was chaos, wrapped in talent, layered in mystery. He lost a $15,000 diamond earring sliding into third base and had the entire grounds crew searching for it. Everything Manny did was larger than life. Manny Ramirez ended his career with 555 home runs, 1,831 RBIs, and a 312 lifetime batting average. His career OPS was 996. He ranks second all-time in postseason home runs with 29, and third in postseason RBIs with 78. Statistically, he is a Hall of Famer, but the shadow of PEDs looms large. He's been on the ballot, but voters remain hesitant. In 2022, he received just 28.9% of the vote, well short of the 75% required. Still, no statistic can measure the joy or the madness that Manny brought to the game. He played like a kid who never stopped loving baseball. For all the controversy, the one thing no one can deny is that when Manny Ramirez stepped to the plate, anything could happen. And often, it did. Because that's just Manny being Manny.